Charlie, there were lots and lots of positives from that performance today, but how are the emotions after the full-time whistle?
I think frustration, really. I think if we look at it, the sending-off changes the game, doesn't it? That first half performance was as good as I've seen from this Fleetwood team, this season. I thought we were excellent. The game plan that we gave them, they stuck to it, and we deserved the 2 goals lead. But again, when you're in the 45th, 47th minute of the game, we have to be a little bit smart in terms of decision making. But ultimately, the players give me everything, and we come away with a point. So we have to build from this. I think that performance will give them a real enthusiasm to really go and be hungry for the rest of the season. 18 games to go, and we're looking forward to a massive challenge.
Big moment in first half stoppage time, Promise Omachire getting sent off. How did you view that decision?
Yeah, again, we could sit here and we could talk about everything, but ultimately you've got to learn from that. When you're in that situation, we're 2-0 up, 47th, 48th minute. He's a young player, he'll learn from that in terms of going for the tackle. He maybe should have just let it happen. But again, I can't fault these players. They're giving me everything, the effort they gave, the applaud from supporters after the game. It's important that we stick together, and I see that on a daily basis, and ultimately that result will galvanise us again, and we'll go again, and we'll dust ourselves, and we'll go again against Port Vale.
You mentioned the reaction from the supporters. I think that's testament to the battling qualities that you showed today. You really, really dug in, and you could have easily gone down to 10 and lost today. Yeah,
absolutely, we could have. I think as well, I think we probably could have had a penalty in the first half as well. So again, if you look at that first half performance, I think it was, let's say before, it was as good as this team have played all season, and it's important that we build on that and we take the good points from it. But again, second half, the box defending, the energy, the people putting their bodies on the line, putting their head on the line was incredible. And when we need that for the position that we're in. First
start today for Ronan Coughlin, didn't get the chance to stay on, had to be sort of sacrificed.
Yeah, it was only a tactical decision because we felt that they were getting too much space in midfield. We needed to get that 3 in there, and we brought Harvey on. But for a first start in League One, I thought he was magnificent, and he gets his opportunity because he trains well every single day. He's enthusiasm, his hunger, and ultimately he was the top goal scorer in the Irish League last year for Waterford. So he deserves an opportunity, and he's done himself no harm.
You're getting players back from injury as well. You're looking for crumbs of comfort to give people a bit of a lift. Junior Turner back on the bench today.
Yeah, again, it's we would have tried to use Junior if we can, but in the circumstances, the position that we were in the match, it was difficult to get him on the pitch. But again, these lads are all available. Ryan Broom coming on for Harry Boyce again was magnificent. He's been out for a long time as well. I thought Carl Johnson again was really good. Big Stocks up front. Led the line, he hustled, he bustled, he got his fouls, he got us up the pitch. And my goalkeeper saves a penalty. But again, when you are where you are, sometimes things don't go for you. And today I felt that the goals that we lost, a little bit of ricochet ends up falling straight to the striker, and obviously the penalty goes against us as well, which I think is a push on Big Stocks.
Yeah, it was a brilliant save from the first one. The 2 penalties. Any questions over them for you?
Well, I think the first one is that I think Ben Hennigan's quite really close, and it's hard to get that. Ultimately, he's trying to block the shot, so he's obviously arms in an unnatural position where he has to put it in the air. And the second one, I think, is a push on Stockley. But again, we cannot affect what people are making the decisions. We have to make sure that we do the right habits. We have the right principles in what we do in the daily habits, and you've seen in that first half when we play to what we expect from the players, the quality is there, and we have to build on that.
Yeah, you've got a free midweek before that Port Vale game, big one again. But if you play like you did in the first half with the 11 players on the pitch, you give yourself a chance of getting a result.
Definitely. We have to bring that intensity. We have to bring that enthusiasm at home. We have to really be aggressive at home against a Port Vale side. So I know they'll be a tough game. They're a good side. They've got good players, and again, we'll have to be on our top level to really affect the match.
And the window is still open. Every manager is going to get asked about incomings and outgoings. It's our first chance to ask you about Josh Vella going as well. How did you feel about him leaving?
Yeah, I just felt that I need to freshen the club up. I had to bring, if I wanted to bring players in, and ultimately, I made that decision to move Josh on. He was magnificent for me for the 3 or 4 weeks I've been in the building. But again, his security in a longer probably term deal at Carlisle was best for him, and ultimately wish him all the best. And let's say, hopefully he does all right, but not too well, because they're just above us.
Yeah. Is that with a view to maybe bring somebody else in?
We'll see what happens in the next 4 or 5 days. You're always looking for to strengthen, and you want to freshen up. But again, we'll see what what arises in the next few days, and ultimately, if we can do something, we'll look to do it. But if not, then I'm very happy in that performance, and what I have available has been very, very good.